I'm Scott Paris from the Paris Accord. We're bringing music back to the people with Random Acts of Music. Two, three. There's no such thing as a sure thing when all you do is wave your weapon aimlessly in the dark and miss the mark, 'cause you can't see past the end of your nose. But I guess that's how the story goes. The saving grace is there's no such place as the one that looks like the haunted house you flee from in your dreams. When you run to me as fast as you can, but they still catch up. Broken, disfigured, hungry for blood. And though I can never tell what's best, I'm pretty sure this has only been a test. How soft in the wool the wolf was dressed. If you're not sure, you can always guess. Such thing as a sure thing in life. Be sure once more that you read that right.
And break.
Woohoo! Nice.
We're back with Random Acts of Music with Scott Paris. And haven't seen you in quite a while. It's been 5 years. I think
It's
5
been
years
a
since we
long
did the show.
time.
Yeah.
I know. It's really nice to
Yeah.
be back. Thank you for
Yeah.
bringing the show back and also
And you're
having
the
me
first guest.
Oh.
You know. So anyway, let's go back in time to little Scott Paris. When you first learned to play guitar, what kind of songs were you learning then?
I started at probably 10 years old, 11 years old. And I already knew that I wanted to sing. As dumb as that sounds, as a kid, I wanted to be a singer in a rock band. Nobody played. Nobody played in my school. Nobody played in my neighborhood. So it kind of was like, oh, I have to learn an instrument and accompany my voice because I want to sing.
Absolutely.
And it was Nirvana. Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit was on MTV. And I was, because the choices are limited for
You're
a kid.
10 and you're playing Nirvana? Play a little of that for me.
Yeah, it was.
I love that.
Well, I remember going to guitar lessons and being like, I want to learn how to play. I gave him Nevermind. I was like, this CD. And the guy who listened to it was like, this is garbage, because he was an older guy. And he was like, you should learn Eddie Van Halen and Steve Vai, who are great. But I was a kid, and I was like, I want to learn this because it looked easy.
He was right to stick to your guns.
I remember that video, and I remember thinking, well, that guy's not trying very hard at all. I want to do that.
And I think you're right to go original. I think that's that's a brave thing to do.
Like I said, I had a lot of fun with the covers, and I think for a lot of people that is a great way to make money. It's a great way to get to play all the time. But I started playing because I love to write.
Yes.
And 20 years have passed, and I've got a dozen albums under my belt that I almost don't have enough time to go promote because I've had a 4 or 5 night a week cover thing, and I sneak a couple songs in now and then, but it was just a personal thing. Like, I'm not against the cover. I had to say that. Like, and the years have all been good.
And your timing is perfect now. I mean, you don't wait till you're like old. You know. Now I'll do my originals.
I just turned 41 the other day, and the decision to do this was last year when I turned 40, because I thought it was like, man, I've already got a catalog under my belt that I'm so proud of, and I don't take enough time to show it to people. And if I don't start doing it now, I will have lost any chance to go, hey, this was my life. I made these songs. I made this.
Yes.
The way an artist makes a painting or a sculpture. Like, I made things that I'm proud of that I want to show to people. And now's the time that I have a platform. Either I can book shows, I can go on an interview, and I can go, okay, I know you love when I do this other song that you already have heard of, but have you heard this? Have you heard this song? Give this a shot. And if I fail at it, I'm okay with that.
I don't think you could fail at it. I think it just takes,
Yeah. Well, plus, and the end game is I don't need it to make money. I found a different way to make money. When you're living on it, it's yes sir, no sir.
Exactly.
And there's compromise like any job. Yeah. And it for me, the cover shows turned into a job. I didn't fall out of love with it entirely.
I stopped playing for years. I started Henry J. Productions, and then I came back. And
I lost
more fun.
If I step away from it for a while, maybe it could be fun again. But the last couple of years.
So how are you going to promote? Like,
I'm going to go on wonderful shows like Random Acts of Music.
Oh, that's good.
Show,
yeah,
which airs Thursday nights.
I think I think it's Thursday nights.
Yeah, in my hometown. Yeah. There's places, there's festivals and things, and the internet was a big playing field leveler as far as we can put things on YouTube. I make videos, and we make albums cheaper than ever because we can do it at home. So I don't need the budget that I used to, and I don't need 50 people around. Now I can do it with 5 people. Like, everything got smaller in a way that was like, well, I can do this.
So now you're going to have a band too, right?
I do have a band. I have a band called the Paris Accord, and my brother's in it, who's here today, and we're jamming here today, as is Kevin Six, and Andy Bors is in it as well. And we're playing all the time. I'm trying to think of air date here. We have just played a big show at the Oracle in Canton that went great. I think it went great.
I don't do math on your own.
When does this air?
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour, walk a mile in my shoes, walk a mile in my shoes.
1, 2, 3. Probably the dimensions of a shoebox, I'd say it's small. Ooh. The length of your attention span don't pay much compliment to your emotional range at all. Ooh. Keeping the charade up this long, well, it takes its toll, more than you know. long do you think you could promenade around the truth you work so hard to evade? It's wrong. Ooh. Well, I should probably watch how much I say about the extent of the part you play in the song. Ooh. Keeping the charade up this long, well, it takes its toll, more than you know. And if you ever pass, then I'll never be forgiven. And if you ever tell me I'll never be the one, then I'll be keeping the charade up this long. Well, it takes its toll, more than you know. Keeping the charade up this long, well, it takes its toll, more than you know.
Muskrat, muskrat, candlelight, doing the town and doing it right in the evening. It's pretty pleasing. Muskrat Susie, Muskrat Sam, do the jitterbug out in Muskrat Land, and they shimmy. Sammy's so skinny, and they whirl and they twirl and they tangled, singing and jinging a jangle, floating like the heavens above. Looks like Muskrat Love. Nibbling on bacon, chewing on cheese, Sammy says to Susie, would you please be my missus? She says yes with her kisses. And he's tickling her fancy and rubbing her toes, muzzle to muzzle, anything goes as they wiggle. And Sue starts to giggle, and they whirl and they twirl and they tangled, singing and jingling a jangle, floating like the heavens above. Looks like Muskrat Love.
I became a musician because, well, I was in elementary school, Mifflin Elementary School, and there was a thing called a lawn fete. And with a lawn fete, you know, there's parties and popcorn and prizes, stuff like that. And I walked around the corner and there was a band playing, just a junior high band. And they, I was watching them from behind and they, you know, just the lights on them and all that stuff. And I said, this is cool. So how did I get my start? I wanted to play guitar, so, you know, I was a teenager, and so I bought a guitar. It was an acoustic guitar. It didn't have all the strings on it, and there were some tuning pegs missing, and I took it to Metronome Music, and they fixed it up and made it playable and everything. And then gradually a neighbor kid would come over and I'd go over to somebody else's house to play. I'd learn some chords from him. They'd learn some chords. And eventually we formed a band and played some battles of the bands. And even when we lost, we thought we won. Then what really made the difference was we got booked at the YMCA, and there was 5 of us, and they paid us $25. And it was just a great night. We were just buzzed to get to actually play on a real stage in front of real people. And to celebrate with our $5 a piece, we went to the Hilltop restaurant, had spaghetti and chocolate milk, and we were so excited. We're laughing and chocolate milk's coming out our nose. And the fact that we made $5 made all the difference. Why did I pick to play the guitar? First of all, it was the only thing I could afford at the time. But when I'm looking back, what I like about the guitar most is it's percussive. It's melodic. And now with electric guitars and stuff, they got pedals and things that change the tone. And so it's an exciting time to be in music. But yeah, I love playing the guitar. All right, what's the worst part of being a musician? Besides the setting up and tearing down and playing one-nighters and all that, and this doesn't happen that much anymore, but back in the day it was hecklers. And we wouldn't have them very often, but some of them were relentless with just say something stupid, you know. So in fact, I had some guy was going to play Willie Nelson, and so I played the Willie Nelson tunes I knew, and that was it. And he would just say it over and over all night long, play Willie Nelson, play Willie Nelson. So finally I looked at him, I said, do I go to where you work and unplug the Slurpee machine? And he looks at me and goes, play Willie Nelson. So yeah, that kind of thing, it's just part of the deal. You have to deal with that sometimes. So what's the best part of being a musician? It's the audience. It's all the work and hard work you do and the rehearsing and setting up and tearing down and buying gear and all that is the response you get from the audience. And nothing beats it. And my show is a little bit different, so it's more interactive. You know, I get people to come up and sing if they're singers. You know, I've had some people that came up to sing that was a little unfortunate, but and I have a cowbell and a tambourine, and people can jam with me, you know. And then I do a regular show as well. So, and I play everything from Ed Sheeran and stuff from the 1940s, Britney Spears. If I like it, I'll play it. You know, so yeah. And I always used to say they don't hire critics; they hire musicians. So that's why I do it. Is there anything else? Yeah, I want everybody to go out and support live music. Keep us going. Live music will always be there in some form or another, but the more you come out and the more you help us, the more we appreciate it. So if you get a chance, come out and see us play. You know, I don't care what style of music you're into, there's people out there. There's people out there that will be happy to play it for you. So yeah, go out and support live music.
Got a quarter?
And this next song is, now I'll have to spell this one for you. This one's called Midlothian Struthers. I know. Which is Midlothian and then Struthers. Which, it's actually two cities in Ohio.
Is there a meaning or something?
There's two cities in Ohio, and they're both, the exit is one exit off the highway. It just says Midlothian Struthers as like a way to go to two places. I just thought it looked really
I love it, yeah.
Well, because I thought it looked like Victorian England or like medieval something or other. So I was like, I'm going to write a song called Midlothian Struthers because it sounds so dark.
Well,
and actually the whole lyrics is about seeing the name on a highway sign. There's no point to this song. It's wonderful.
I love that.
It's a meaningfully meaningless song.
Well, and he needed 2 minutes.
And I needed 2 minutes to fill the cassette because this was a cassette release. And I had to put something at the end, and so it's perfectly
it had to
2
be
minutes.
2 minutes and 30-some seconds to fit the time slot.
Yeah. No, 2 on the dot. This song, if we play it right to tempo. I drove it past you when I had all the time. I thought about you and it brings peace of mind. I'm in and out of love in Midlothian Struthers. I read about you on a highway sign. I left a message but you did not reply. I'm in and out of love in Midlothian Struthers. I'm in and out of love in Midlothian Struthers. Gonna tell you everything is alright. No matter what battle I'm fighting inside, I'm in and out of love in Midlothian Struthers. I'm in and out of love in Midlothian Struthers.
Welcome to your life. There's no turning back. Even as we speak, we will find you acting on your best behavior. Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to. Yep. It's my own design. It's my own remorse. Help me to decide. Make the most of freedom and the pleasure. Nothing ever lasts forever. Everybody wants you. This is probably a little different here. Ba, 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 da, da, da. Ba, 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 ba,
stand by. Let me focus on it. Okay.
Diana Chittister, doing fine. Scene 1, take 1.
Okay, wait for your cue, kiddo.
I produce Random Acts of Music because you write the songs. Songs that tell your story. Songs that prove you were here. Random Acts of Music is for all those who play and sing and write and want to be heard. Music has power. Music can make you feel better, move you forward. Regardless of the style you choose, music can turn on a light in your part of the world. It can be simple or complex. It doesn't matter. It's yours. It's original. What does it mean to be a musician? It means you're willing to dig down deep and make the music mean something. And when you feel like your heart's not in it, you'll dig even deeper until you find the magic again. You'll play for someone in need. You'll play for gas money. You'll play until your hands ache and your voice is rough. And when the gig's over, you'll load out, drive away, and do it all over again. Whether you travel to a concert hall on the other side of the world or a bar across the street, you have something to say, and your stories are worth telling. Even when no one's paying attention, you'll play. And sometimes, at the end of the night, there's a check waiting for you, and that's nice. But you do it for the music. You write the songs. You live the music. You have no choice. It was meant to be. Why do I do it? Because I'm a player too. Random Acts of Music, so you can be heard.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour, walk a mile in my shoes, walk a mile in my shoes.